Hi everyone, Renzo here from ND Studio. In this Adobe Illustrator tutorial, I'll show you how to create a tropical poster or chicha. However, to follow this lesson correctly, it's important to download the editable files first. You'll find them in the video description. So, without further ado, let's get started. How to make a color palette in Adobe Illustrator. After downloading the file, open it and navigate to the View section of the menu bar. Ensure that the Smart Guides option is activated. Next, open the Layers panel, and check that Layer 1 is selected. Choose the Rectangle tool. Place the cursor in the center of the artboard, hold down the Alt key and click. Width and height, 100 pixels. OK. Activate the Selection tool. Open the Transform panel by clicking on Window, Transform. After opening the Transform panel, move the object to the specified coordinates. X-axis, 240 pixels. Y-axis, 960 pixels. Access the Color panel and change the color of the rectangle that was just created. Fill, 0820, 8C. Stroke, none. Move and duplicate the selected object, going to Object, Transform, Move. Position, horizontal, 120 pixels. Vertical, 0 pixels. Copy. Open the Color panel. Fill, BD, 25, 1E. Move and duplicate the square, pressing the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+D. Access the Color panel. Fill, F0, 0E, 96. Move and duplicate the object, pressing the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+D. Enter the Color panel. Fill, 58, D7, 02. Move and duplicate the selected object, pressing the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+D. Open the Color panel. Fill, D7, 9A, 0D. Move and duplicate the square, pressing the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+D. Access to the Color panel. Fill, 3E, DB, F0. Select all the objects on the artboard by going to Select, All. Enter the Swatches panel, and click on the new color group icon. Name, Color Palette. Create from Selected Artwork. OK. Delete all selected objects by pressing the Delete key. How to make gradients in Adobe Illustrator. Open the Layers panel, and activate the visibility of Layer 4. Choose the Rectangle tool. Place the cursor in the center of the artboard, hold down the Alt key and click. Width, 1100 pixels. Height, 1940 pixels. OK. Activate the Selection tool. Enter a zoom of 33% by going to the status bar at the bottom of the program. Open the Gradient panel, and make the following changes. Fill, black and white. Type, Radial Gradient. Press the Edit Gradient button. Next, create a new gradient from bottom to top using the reference guides in Layer 4. Choose the Selection tool. Double-click on the left color stop of the gradient, and access the Swatches panel. Color, turquoise. Select the right color stop of the gradient, and double-click. Color, indigo. Midpoint, location, 45%. Snap the artboard to the document window by going to View, Fit Artboard in Window. Open the Layers panel, and lock Layer 1. Disable the display of Layer 4 and select Layer 2. How to create a sunburst in Adobe Illustrator. Choose the Ellipse tool. Place the cursor in the center of the artboard, hold down the Alt key and click. Width and height, 1210 pixels. OK. Choose the Selection tool. Fill, none. Stroke, white. Open the Stroke panel. Weight, 1000 points. Activate the Dashed Line option. Dash, 140 points. To expand the appearance of the path, go to Object and select Expand Appearance. Now, to expand the selected object, click on Object, Expand. Expand, Fill and Stroke. OK. Select the Lasso tool and choose all anchor points in the central part of the artboard. To place all selected anchor points at the center point of the artboard, go to Object, Path, Average. Axis, both. OK. Open the Gradient panel. Fill, black and white. Type, Radial Gradient. Double-click on the right color stop of the gradient. Color, white. Opacity, 0%. Location, 75%. Midpoint, location, 40%. Access the transparency panel. Blending mode, hard light. Opacity, 20%. Deactivate the selection by going to Select, Deselect. How to make a clipping mask in Adobe Illustrator. Activate the rectangle tool. Place the cursor at the bottom of the toolbar, and click on the default fill and stroke icon. Position yourself in the center of the artboard, hold down the Alt key, and click. Width, 1100 pixels. Height, 1940 pixels. OK. Choose the selection tool. Select all objects on the artboard by clicking on Select All. Use the rectangle you just created to frame all selected objects. To do this, go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. How to use the text tool in Adobe Illustrator. Open the Layers panel. Lock Layer 2, and select Layer 3. Choose the text tool. Click on the artboard, and type the word psychedelic. Choose the selection tool. Open the character panel by clicking on Window, Type, Character. Font, Dope Style. Size, 200 points. Access the transform panel. X-axis, 540 pixels. Y-axis, 882 pixels. To move and duplicate the selected text, navigate to Object, Transform, Move. Position, horizontal, 200 pixels. Vertical, 156 pixels. Copy. Double-click on the duplicated text and type the word cumbia. How to add gradient to editable text in Adobe Illustrator. Activate the selection tool. Select all the texts in the artboard by clicking on Select All. Open the Pathfinder panel. Click on the menu of the Pathfinder panel, and select the option Make Compound Shape. Open the Gradient panel. Fill, black and white. Type, Linear Gradient. Angle, -90 degrees. Place the cursor over the gradient annotator, and add a color stop in the center. Double-click on the left color stop of the gradient. Color, green. Midpoint, location, 50%. Gradient center color stop. Color, orange. Location, 50%. Midpoint, location, 50%. Gradient right color stop. Color, magenta. How to create text effect with Appearance panel in Adobe Illustrator. Open the Appearance panel, and select the Fill section. Create a copy of the selected fill by clicking on the Duplicate Selected Element button. Select the duplicate fill at the bottom, and change its color. Fill, indigo. Apply an offset effect to the selected fill by going to Add New Effect, Path, Offset Path. Offset, 22 pixels. OK. Apply a transform effect to the still selected fill, by clicking on Add New Effect, Distort and Transform, Transform. Move, horizontal, -5 pixels. Vertical, 11 pixels. OK. Create a copy of the selected fill by clicking on the Duplicate Selected Item button. Select the bottom fill, and change its color. Fill, red. Display and visualize the effects applied to the red fill. Click on the Offset Path effect, and enter the following change. Offset, 30 pixels. OK. Deactivate the current selection by going to Select, Deselect. Remember to send us your progress in JPG format via Instagram at @ND_studio. This will allow us to continue working together on your learning. To help us create more tutorials, you can make a small monthly donation through Patreon, starting at $1 a month. You can support us by liking, subscribing, watching, commenting, and sharing this lesson with those who need it. To continue learning, check out these tutorials that may interest you. Your friend Renzo bids you farewell, hoping to see you in the next tutorial. Have a great day. See you soon.